How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another race video with Newtype Cycling. This week is week 4 of Or Road, and we've got a fun one for you. Let's jump into the stats. All right, riding along with myself today. FTP is 283, watts per kg is 3.9, weighing in at 160, race age 33. The races are getting longer, man. It's a good time, and I was wrecked today going into this ride, so I wanted to kind of sit in a little bit, and you can see my powers kind of reflecting that. Duration is 52 minutes, distance 23 miles, just over 26.5 average speed. My normalized is 254, average is 213. I set in for probably the first 15 to 20 minutes of this ride, and kid you not, from the previous weeks at Or Road, I save roughly an average of 30 watts on my normalized and my average power. Just being a little smarter, being a little bit more patient. But I was trashed from the weekend before. We had the second round of the Southeast Gravel Series, which was the Saluda Red Bank 100 miler. I'll throw some photos up on the screen so you guys can check it out. The course conditions were unreal. Down there in South Carolina where we were racing at, the roads are really thick, like peanut butter mud. And it being a 100-mile race, like, it rained on us, it monsooned, we almost got struck by lightning. It was crazy. Attrition was real. One of our buddies blew up his hub in his rear wheel. There was a guy who broke a derailleur hanger off completely. Like, we were like probably 15 miles from the aid station. He was just like walking his bike like on a trail that no one's been on in probably, you know, a year and a half. Couple broke chains, mechanicals everywhere. There's multiple times where I had to like dig out by hand all the mud in between my forks and my tires because the mud would get so thick and caked on that my wheels would stop turning. It was brutal. Needless to say, coming into the Tuesday night Or Road practice crit, I was cooked and really wanted to play it simple, play it safe, and that's what I do here. I've got a lot of teammates up in the front that you guys can't see right now. They're doing some work on the front, and I kind of told them, I said, hey, I'm chilling, and you know, if there's a move that I can go with or feel good with, I'll do that. So to not bore you guys by sitting in this pack, in the mid pack the whole race, we'll skip ahead to the action where we're doing a little breakdancing today. All right, look up at the timer. We are 20 minutes in, and like I said, I've been chilling. Nothing's really gone up the road. Right now we have a 2-man flyer that has kind of rolled off the front, and I'm feeling decent. My heart rate's good. I definitely don't feel 100% by any means, and just want to kind of ride smart. And at this point, like, I've been sitting in for 20 minutes, kind of just covering and floating around the rear of the field. Then I'm like, all right, let's get towards the front. Let's see what's happening. I noticed those 2 riders went off the front, and I feel like I need to come up towards the sharp end of the race to give some support to the teammates and make sure if something went up the road, we were in that. Ooh, that hurt. 900 watts out of the corner. Kind of excessive. Didn't really need to do that. But I kind of see the field right here. It kind of slows up a little bit, and I'm feeling good. So what do? Break one off. 1100 watts. Going into turn 1. Got a rider on my wheel. Keeping the pace high through this turn. 32 miles an hour. Ripping turn 1. Back on the power. You can see the 2 riders directly ahead of me. I've got a really strong rider on my wheel. I look under the shoulder, see he's there, and I'm like, all right, let's close this, rest this thing down. I'm a little surgy on the power, going from like 400 to 700, but it is what it is. I just know I need to get there. Luckily, with the momentum of the downhill, I flick my elbow, let him pull through, and boom. Now we're in it, guys. We have a huge gap. Check the rear cam. We have one more guy coming up, Josh Moore with King Racing Development, coming up the rear. And where my teammates were on the front of the peloton was like a perfect position to kind of make this break happen and see what we can do. again, I told the guys that I was like gonna chill out most of the ride and stuff, and then look where I'm at now. I'm in the break, probably where I shouldn't be, and now we're gonna start rotating. We're gonna see what we can do here. Right now, it's technically just turning into 5 of us, and I think that's a pretty good size for the break. So just want to highlight the rider directly in front of me. This is Willie. If you guys are familiar with the gravel race Unbound, Willie won the 2022 Unbound XL. So like the 250 or 300 miler, I forget. So he has a freaking diesel motor. He will roll some coal on the front, put out big watts. It's super fun to be riding with all these guys in the break. Well, now I'm on the front now, doing my turn. I'm trying not to blow up. You guys know everything. Well, look who's coming around me. It's only 2 guys. And I'm like, oh no, what's going on? So I like look under my shoulder real quick and try and figure out what's happening. Well, it's just, I'm unsure if guys are already playing games or if other guys are just as tired as I am. Well, now we have a new face in the rear cam. It's our buddy Esteban. If you guys, real quick, if you guys like watching me suffer and do a little breakdancing, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Really helps out the channel. We're gonna ride along with this moving the brake for as long as we can. This is mainly most of the action for today. All right, rolling through now, flicking my elbow, and the pace is just super surgy. We have, check the rear cam, we have a second hot fly rider. So the guy in front of me and the guy in the rear are on the same team. So look, I'm letting a huge gap open up. This is not advised, but it was really weird. It was like super punchy. From what I understand is we just got too many people in the break. There's not enough cohesion, not enough consistency. But believe it or not, I'm rocking 190 BPM. I'm trying my best to contribute, to support. I will do what I can, but at the same time, I'm like dead inside. Oh, got a little bit of some little bit of tactics right here. These guys to my left just let up the hot fly riders, and they don't want to pull through. Willie's on my wheel right here. He's gonna gas it up to try and drop us. This really hurt a lot. So I was trying to play super smart and just be consistent and smooth, and that's all I wanted to do the whole time. I was like, let's just be smooth. But the other guys in the break, we're not going to let that happen. They're really strong, so they have the ability to do this high pace and tempo, and then also be really punchy out of some corners when they rotate. And so I'm just dying inside. And this is probably the smoothest it will be the entire break is right now. Is like, okay, we're all in line, everyone's playing by the rules, we're keeping it consistent, and guys are kind of rotating through. The majority of this break was just very yo-yo-y, very punchy. I spike up to 400 watts right here to keep it rolling. Josh Moore right there on the left took a really short pull, playing some games a little bit. I know he's hurting as well. He was on that gravel ride with me. Paul right here on the left right here, hot fly, he didn't pull through, so he skipped a pull, so there leaves a gap. So there's definitely some tactics going on, and Willie gives me the hand of God in the rear camera. Thank you, I really needed that. He helped me out to bridge this back up to a hot fly rider directly in front of me. And I kid you not, that was probably the smoothest that it's gonna be, is the break, was that little like congestion right there where guys were flicking their elbow through and not pulling through. But we do have a good gap on the peloton. It's one of those days where all the strong guys are really in this main group, and so the peloton has to do a ton of work and be super motivated if they want to catch us. And hopefully my teammates are in the rear in the peloton doing a good job blocking for me like I did for Bryce a couple weeks ago. Take this corner nice and smooth, pedal all the way through this thing at 24 miles an hour, keep the speed smooth, consistent. Alan right here pulling off, did a great job pulling. He did a really long pull, super strong rider. Chris, he pulled, I mean, that was like what, maybe 5 seconds, 8 seconds? I mean, I can't say much because I don't really have much juice either. You know, I did about 5 seconds right there. Willie comes through, rolling coal on us, starts to create a gap in between Josh Moore in the orange and blue kit. Now look, boom, right in front of Esteban in the black kit, we have another hot fly rider with red shoes up there in the gray and yellow. So now we have 3 hot fly riders. This is like worst case scenario. Andrew from hot fly bridged up, and it caused like a lot of congestion because Paul's not pulling through. Certain guys are just playing games. And the whole time in the rear cam, I'm getting barked at by a strong guys of like not pulling through and being consistent. Bro, I'm dying inside. Leave me alone. Like, you yelling is not helping anybody. Guess what? We have 3 hot fly riders. The odds are against us. They're going to try and blow stuff up. So, like, barking and yelling, it doesn't do anything. Really hurt right here. Gaps are opening up. I'm doing everything in my power to just hang on, and it's not working. You know, I've got to like make sure I'm doing everything I can just to stay in this thing. And again, guy comes to my right here, he's like asking me if I'm good. No, dude, I'm not. I'm dead inside. Leave me alone. So try my best right here. Luckily, it slows up just enough to catch a wheel. All the order that we've done has been jumbled up, so we're all kind of like reset now, and the order's like all mashed up again. But at the time, during this break, I knew there was going to be some games being played, but I was thinking we were going to do it a little bit later, a couple more laps in, to make sure that like the break was solidified and we weren't going to get caught. And you can just see like guys are everywhere, left and right, front and rear, just leaving gaps and just like skipping pulls, shortening up stuff. I'm doing it as well. I'm hanging on by a thread. Keep some good speed down this thing, but we're rolling pretty fast, and my heart rate's only at 185. I feel like normally I should probably be in the 190s. My legs were so fried from the weekend that my heart rate just couldn't get any higher. I couldn't put out, you know, any more effort. This is gonna hurt. We're coming up the little rise, even though it's like a little 2% rise right there. It really hurts a lot. I do my best. I'm doing 300 watts, 200 watts, like trying my best right here to really contribute and like do a decent pull. But Willie says no. Willie comes around me on the right and he's like, bro, you're going too slow. See you later. And I'm like, okay, here I go. Tried my best. And look, the rear cam, you got Paul and Andrew playing games just a little bit, leaving slight gaps, not wanting to pull through just. But Andrew right here in the red shoes does me a favor. He does pull through. And so now, here we go again. I'm just fried. And I'm like, I gotta skip a pull. And so I let Willie in. He's cool with it. He told me, he's like, actually, this is a better spot. And what did I just do to myself? I put myself behind the Unbound XL winner, who has a crazy amount of just threshold diesel power. And what does he do? He starts his pull and just rides away from me. I'm doing right at 350 watts, and he's just riding away from me. I am obliterated, guys. I'm gonna keep saying it. This hurts so bad. I think I have like saliva dripping down my face the entire time. And right here, this is where I die. This is the hill I die on. That little surge and hard effort from Willie just popped me. I tried to kind of rotate back real quick to catch a wheel, but they just surged just enough to where I lost a wheel. And that was it, guys. That was it for me. If you've been keeping track, I think that is like roughly 10 to 13 minutes in the break, trying to get organized, stay away from the group, you know, fight it out, but it doesn't happen. That is definitely my best effort in a breakaway for sure. Sounds like we had too many guys, you know, talking to a couple of them afterwards, like, you know, just too many people to get organized and stuff. Well, here comes the peloton right here. Bryce is on the front. So not sure if I was getting chased back by my teammate or not. We'll find out later. We'll see. But whenever they come around me, I'm like, hey, like they're all playing games up there. I was telling Bryce, like, keep the pace high. And I was hoping the whole peloton was going to keep the pace high to potentially bring them back. But Bryce ended up smashing it and trying to chase the breakdown himself and blew up. So now, not only are we not in the break, I lost Bryce, who's our like big diesel motor to do a lead out. He ends up blowing up and getting off the ride. So super frustrating. It was a hard day at Ore Road, but either way, we're skipping ahead now. We are 3 laps to go, 46 minutes into this thing, and I have just been recovering for a while. I've been hanging out and chilling, and nothing's really gone up the road. All the teams, like if they have somebody up the road, they're all blocking, so you couldn't really do anything. So now I was like, all right, well, pretty much all the strong guys are up the road. Let's try and do a little organized lead out and see what happens. So I got Jake right in front of me, and if you look up ahead, there's Jason as well. And we're out in 3 to go right now, and we're just being patient, trying to find good lines. I'm yelling up at people to like stay positioned, don't get too close to the front, be patient, stuff like that. And surprisingly, it's hard to do. Like whenever you're like leading someone out, it is extremely hard to like slow down a little bit and like not get too close to the front. And that's what we really are been trying to work on here as a team at Ore Road these past couple weeks. Is if we're together, you know, we want to try and do like a fun lead out with like 3 to go. And we're going to ride along for these last 2 laps to see what kind of sprint we got. But right now, we're looking really good. Coming to 2 to go. If you notice right here, the pace slows down. The breakaway is gone. We get a little swarmed. That's okay. There's a lot of riding left to do. You got to be patient. There's no real reason to panic right here and like put down a ton of watts and burn a match or 2. There's just really no reason. Because if I'm hurting, that means everyone else is hurting. All right, we got our teammate Jonathan right here coming to my right. From what I understand, he was on the front most of the ride, doing a lot of work, chasing some stuff back. And so I'm trying to get him directly on my rear wheel so he can kind of sweep for me. But we'll see how that goes. Keep an eye on the rear cam to see if he maintains position and stuff. But my real main focus is call out attacks. So I just called that one out that's going up on the right. And I want to follow Jake. You know, I want to make sure I'm in a good position to get on his wheel. And so now I got a rider in front of me, and I've got to make sure I get on that wheel because he's directly on Jason. So I was like, there's my lead out. I need to be on that. So what do? I just like squeeze in, put a little effort in, and then just block out the rider. So I was like, hey, that's my wheel. I want that thing. And now we're good to go. Coming into 1 to go right here at the line. A little bit of an effort, 800 watts to get out of the turn. Time to go. Talking to Jake. Time to go, baby. Speed's ramping up. Yeah, you did. It's last lap, 33 miles an hour. Oh yeah, we're going. Looks like my heart rate monitor screwed up right here. I'm definitely not at 137 BPM. I could tell you that. We're in pretty good position right here. Jason's like 5th or 6th wheel. He stands up out of the saddle. Perfect position to kind of launch. Keep the speed up. I'm going to box out this rider on my left. That's my wheel. Not going to let him take that from me. Maintain the position. We're looking good. Jason's done. He's done his work. Good work. Now it's all up to Jake to just deliver the mail, dude. Carry the package. I am the package. Take me to the doorstep, and I'm going to launch and see what we got here. It's looking really good. 32 miles an hour up. This kicker's really, really freaking fast and hard. And what do? I wait just 2 seconds too late and get passed by a trapdoor rider, Carolina cycling rider. Punch it into the last corner. Maintain. Back on the pedals as soon as I can. Don't hit the cone. Punch out the last sprint that I have. Dig all the way to the line. Come home for 3rd in the field sprint of the best of the rest. Unfortunately, I probably waited a little too late for to launch. Lesson learned, that's money in the bank, that's knowledge for next time. But really fun little lead out right there, just to kind of show like what we could do whenever, you know, we all do what we need to do. We check all the boxes, and it's hard to do. But hey guys, hope you appreciate the footage of me suffering in the break and a little bit of fun little lead out footage. So more videos to come. Appreciate you guys watching. Catch you in the next one.